Hello and welcome to Abide Scripts. My name is Jess. Today I'm using a limited palette of raw sienna, undersea green, and Payne's gray, and I am in love with the Daniel Smith paints, and so you'll see me using that quite often. I put each of those colors on a palette knife and smushed it right onto a wet Arches 100% cotton cold pressed paper. You'll see my desk, it is so wet. I doused this piece of paper front and back. It's sticking to my hand, it's so wet here. So you'll notice I also used my mister to get that paint to move around. I decided I wanted to try to pull out some clouds out of this, beautiful thing that was happening. I gave it a try. I pulled quite a few clouds, and then I looked at it and was like, this looks awful. So as I do these kind of, palette knife paintings, they're very spontaneous and as you go. And so sometimes I'll do things and I don't like it. And thankfully there was enough paint there at the bottom of the painting that I was able to mist it again and get that just beautiful fade back. On my thumbnail, I advertise this painting or this tutorial as a limited palette deal. And why would you choose to do a limited palette? Well, the same reason if my kids want to ask me something while we're doing 5 other things, I say, go write it down on the Ask Mom list, because it's so difficult to make decisions sometimes. And if you decide ahead of time, I'm going to use these 3 colors. I know that they look amazing together, and we're going to, smush it on the page with a palette knife and see what pops. Like, I love where the raw sienna it just brings out little highlights here and there. And so that's why I personally like to limit myself. Otherwise, I just get so distracted. And in this type of painting where you're using a palette knife and everything is very quick and everything is very spontaneous, you're not going to want to be making decisions about, well, what color do I want to use now? Yeah. Went in and dropped in some pine trees. I'm drying some of those background trees that they diffused quite a bit because the paper was so wet, which I love. So now I'm doing more of a wet on damp. And you'll notice I just borrowed from that pigment that is down there at the bottom. There's so much of it. There's no need really to get more paint. I can just borrow from what's already on the page. And so these trees are a whole lot more distinct because it's not so wet in the background. I'm using a 6 long round brush. It is not a fancy brush. It is something you can get on Amazon, and it's gotten destroyed over the years and has become my favorite brush as a result. It just makes the most incredible tree branches without much effort, just because the bristles on it are so frayed. Often I will take my trees all the way down to the ground, but in this painting, I kind of wanted to have the trunk of the tree showing. So it's just a little bit of a different look for me. So that's really it for this painting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. If you found this valuable at all, would you consider subscribing and liking? I would love to continue to teach watercolor, and next we're going to have scripting God's Word on this painting. So stay tuned for that. Have a wonderful day.